More than 3 million people, tears in their eyes, and only one name on their lips: Jagannath.
हमारे प्रभु जगन्नाथ प्रभु
The Jagannath Yatra, one of the largest religious festivals in the world. Every year, everyone from celebrities and influencers to ordinary devotees travels to Puri, Orissa, not just from every corner of India but from countries like the United States, Russia, and Colombia, all for single glimpse of Lord Jagannath. No matter the weather, the endless crowds, or the hardships, the love that devotees have for Lord Jagannath draws them back year after year. For 9 sacred days, it is believed that the Lord Himself comes out of His temple to meet His devotees, creating a celebration that millions across the world dream of witnessing. But have you ever wondered about the story of the Lord who inspires such extraordinary devotion? Across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, we've all witnessed the immense love people have for Lord Jagannath. But today, let's uncover the story behind that devotion and explore some of the greatest mysteries of the Jagannath Temple. Mysteries that continue to fascinate people even today. The story begins with the final moments of Lord Krishna's earthly life. After completing his divine mission on earth, Krishna was resting beneath a tree in a dense forest. At that moment, a hunter named Zara arrived, mistaking Krishna's glowing red feet for the eyes of a deer. He released a poisoned arrow that struck Krishna in the foot. As the hunter came closer, he realized his mistake and was overcome with grief. He fell at Krishna's feet, weeping and begging for forgiveness. But Krishna simply smiled. He gently told Zara that he had committed no sin because this was destiny itself. Krishna explained that in his previous incarnation as Lord Ram during the Treta Yuga, he had slain Bali from concealment. And now, in the Dwapar Yuga, the cycle of karma had finally come full cycle. After freeing Zara from guilt, Lord Krishna peacefully departed from the material world, bringing his earthly incarnation to an end. However, when the news reached Arjun, he was devastated. He rushed into the forest and, with a heavy heart, performed the final rites of his dearest friend. But during the cremation, something extraordinary happened. Krishna's entire body was consumed by the sacred fire except for his heart. It neither burned nor turned to ashes. Instead, it was believed to continue radiating divine energy as though it were still alive. Arjun immediately understood that this was no ordinary relic but the external divine essence of Lord Vishnu. Unsure how such a sacred object should be preserved, he placed the heart upon a wooden log and gently set it afloat in the river, trusting destiny to decide where it belonged. The sacred relic drifted with the currents for many days before finally reaching the banks of the Mahanadi River in Orissa, where the Sabar tribe lived. Their chief Biswabasu discovered the mysterious heart glowing with an extraordinary light. Instantly realizing that it possessed divine power, he placed it inside the idol of Neel Madhav, hidden within a secluded cave, and began worshipping it with deep devotion. For years, this incredible secret remained known only to the tribe, while the rest of the world had no idea that one of Hinduism's greatest mysteries was hidden deep within the forests of Orissa. At the same time, in the ancient kingdom of Avanti, there ruled King Indrayuman, one of Lord Vishnu's greatest devotees. His life's greatest desire was to behold the Lord with his own eyes. One day, a sage informed him that Lord Vishnu was present in the forest of Odisha in the form of Neel Madhav. Without delay, the king sent his most learned Brahmin, Vidyapati, to search for the mysterious deity. After a long journey, Vidyapati eventually reached the Sabar tribe. However, when he requested Chief Viswabasu to show him the sacred cave, the chief firmly refused. The location of Neel Madhav was a closely guarded secret that could never be revealed to outsiders. Rather than returning to the king empty handed, Vidyapati decided to remain in the village. As time passed, he fell in love with Biswabasu's daughter Lalita, and the two were eventually married. Becoming part of the family gave Vidyapati one final opportunity. Through Lalita, he once again requested permission to have the darshan of Neel Madhav. This time, Biswabasu agreed, but only on one condition. Vidyapati would have to remain blindfolded throughout the journey so he could never learn the cave's location. Vidyapati accepted the condition, but before setting out, he secretly filled his pocket with mustard seeds. As Biswabasu guided him through the dense forest, Vidyapati quietly dropped a few seeds along the path. When he finally entered the cave and beheld Neel Madhav, he was overwhelmed with devotion. Returning to the kingdom, he immediately informed King Indriyuman that he had truly found the Lord. Months later, the mustard seeds had grown into plants, forming a natural trail through the forest. Following that trail, King Indriyuman finally reached the sacred cave. But instead of finding Neel Madhav, he found only emptiness. The deity had disappeared. Heartbroken, the king collapsed before the cave and began praying with unwavering devotion. That very night, Lord Vishnu appeared in his dreams and said, O king, you will no longer find me as Neel Madhav. Go to the shores of Puri. There you will discover a gigantic, fragrant log of red wood floating upon the sea, marked with the symbols of the conch and the discus. From the sacred wood, my new form shall be created. The very next morning, King Indrayuman reached the shores of Puri, and exactly as the Lord had foretold, the miraculous log was waiting for him. But another challenge soon emerged. The sacred log was so massive and mysterious that even all of the king's soldiers together could not move it. Only after Biswavasu arrived and offered his prayers were they finally able to lift it and carry it to the royal palace. Yet another miracle followed. The finest craftsmen from across the kingdom tried to carve the wood, but every hammer and every chisel failed. The mysterious log refused to yield, as though it were waiting for a craftsman chosen by the divine himself. When it seemed that carving the sacred log was impossible, Lord Vishnu once again appeared in King Indrayaman's dream. This time, he instructed the king to worship Lord Vishwakarma, the divine architect of the gods. The king immediately followed the Lord's command, and soon an old carpenter arrived at the palace, claiming that he alone could carve the idols. According to the tradition, this mysterious carpenter was none other than Lord Vishwakarma himself in disguise. But he agreed to undertake the task on one condition. He would work alone inside a locked chamber for 21 days, and under no circumstances should anyone open the door before that time. If the door was opened even once, he would abandon the work immediately. The king accepted the condition and the work began. Every day, the sounds of carving echoed from inside the chamber, assuring everyone that the mysterious craftsman was at work. But on the 15th day, the sound suddenly stopped. Complete silence filled the palace. Queen Gundicha grew anxious and feared that the elderly carpenter might have died from hunger or exhaustion. Despite the king's hesitation, she repeatedly urged him to open the door. Unable to resist her concern any longer, King Indrayuman finally ordered the chamber to be opened. As soon as the doors swung open, everyone inside the palace stood frozen in disbelief. The old carpenter had disappeared without a trace. In his place stood three unfinished wooden idols. They had no fully formed hands or feet, and their eyes were unusually large and round. The king was devastated. He fell to his knees, blaming himself for breaking the divine promise. He believed that because of his impatience, he had ruined the Lord's own form forever. Overwhelmed with sorrow, King Indrayuman slowly walked toward the unfinished idols. But as he stood before them, something unimaginable happened. He heard a heartbeat, a clear, living heartbeat coming from within the chest of the idols. In that very moment, the king realized that these were no ordinary statues. It was believed that the same divine heart of Lord Krishna, the heart that had never burned on the funeral pyre, had now been placed within them. This sacred and mysterious essence came to be known as the Brahma Padarth, the divine life force believed to reside within the idols even today. Accepting this as the Lord's own will, King Indrayuman installed the unfinished idols with the highest honor in Puri. The three deities represented Lord Brahma, Goddess Subhadra, and Lord Krishna himself, who came to be worshipped as Lord Jagannath, meaning the Lord of the universe. Unlike most Hindu deities, Lord Jagannath's form remained intentionally unfinished. For devotees, this incompleteness is not a flaw, but a symbol that the divine cannot be confined to human ideas of perfection. It is this unique form that has made Lord Jagannath one of the most beloved and distinctive deities in Hinduism. But the story doesn't end here. The greatness of Lord Jagannath is reflected not only in his origin but also in the countless mysteries of the Jagannath Temple. The mysteries of the Jagannath Temple are as fascinating as the story of Lord Jagannath himself. For centuries, devotees have regarded these events as miracles, while researchers have tried to understand them through science, yet many of them continue to be discussed even today. The first mystery welcomes you before you even enter the temple. From a distance, you can see the flag atop the Jagannath Temple. Devotees believe that this flag always flies against the direction of the wind, something that has become one of the temple's most famous legends. Every single day, temple priests climb to the top of the temple without modern safety equipment to replace this sacred flag as part of a centuries old ritual. According to the temple tradition, this daily ritual must never stop. While some people have proposed scientific explanations involving wind currents and the temple's architecture, there is no universally accepted explanation for why the flag appears to behave this way in every situation, making it one of the temple's enduring mysteries. As you move further inside, another remarkable tradition awaits: the Jagannath Temple kitchen, often regarded as one of the largest temple kitchens in the world. Every day, food for thousands of devotees is prepared in earthen pots stacked one above another over wood fired stoves. According to traditional belief, the food in the topmost pot cooks first, even though it is the farthest from the fire, while the bottom pot cooks later. Devotees consider this another divine miracle associated with the Lord Jagannath, and it remains one of the most talked about traditions of the temple. But perhaps the most extraordinary belief connected to the temple is the mystery of the Brahma Padarth. As you heard earlier, it is believed that the divine heart of Lord Krishna, the one that did not burn during his cremation, still resides within Lord Jagannath's idol as sacred Brahma Padarth. According to temple traditions, every 12 to 19 years during a sacred ceremony known as Nabakalebara, the old wooden idols are replaced with new ones. In an extremely secret ritual conducted only by a select group of priests, the Brahma Padarth is ceremonially transferred from the old idols to the new ones. What exactly the Brahma Padarth is has never been publicly revealed. The priests who perform the ritual traditionally do so in complete darkness, often with their eyes covered and their hands wrapped in cloth while handling the sacred object. According to temple belief, no ordinary person is permitted to see it. Its true nature remains one of the greatest religious mysteries associated with the Jagannath Temple. Whether one sees these stories as a matter of faith, history, symbolism, or divine miracles, one thing is undeniable. Millions of people do not travel to Puri merely to see a wooden idol. They come because for them, Lord Jagannath is a living presence, a Lord who listens to his devotees, shares their joy and sorrows, and during the Rath Yatra symbolically leaves his temple each year to meet them. Perhaps that is why every year millions gather with tears in their eyes and only one name on their lips: Jagannath. Because for his devotees, Jagannath is not simply a deity to be worshipped from afar. He is a Lord who comes closer to his people. A journey of faith, a journey of love, a journey that has united millions for centuries. I hope you enjoyed this incredible story of Lord Jagannath and discovered why the devotion surrounding him is unlike anything else in the world. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next story.